We've been living in La La Land during the past month and a half since Brock Purdy took over as a 49ers starting quarterback. I mean, 40 points, most of the games, 30 points, essentially averaging 5 touchdowns a game, which is insane for any offense at any level. But to do so against professionals week in and week out is just pretty telling of how well the 49ers have been playing on this side of the ball. So what we saw Sunday was back to reality, right? Most teams are averaging around that 20-point mark, and the 49ers ran into a physical, fast defense. And I don't want to say they met their match, but this is how most playoff games should go. So let's talk about everything that we saw from the 49ers. I think that Brock Purdy played well last week. I thought it was probably his worst game as a starter. I did not feel the same way in this game. I actually thought he played pretty well, and I thought if Purdy plays like this against the Eagles, they have a good chance to win. And I know his numbers might not reflect it, but the things that he was able to do, the style of play, taking care of the football, he nearly did throw an interception, but I mean that's one play out of 29 attempts. Play, for example, shows you that Brock Purdy can play on time, right? Brock Purdy, this is actually pretty Jimmy-esque from a muddy pocket standpoint, but let's just watch it play out. So we're looking at the top of the screen here, and it's leaning on your best player. So George Kittle is one-on-one. They are going to essentially just run a quick glance route. They're going to fake the run action. What does that do? Sucks up the second level defender. Now I have this entire half of the field one-on-one with George Kittle. You're going to take that matchup every day of the week. You see how Purdy gets the ball out on time. And you can see from this end zone view, he doesn't need to have a clean pocket to be able to execute a throw. That's why I say this is very Jimmy-esque, because Jimmy has always been really good at being able to get throws off when somebody's in his face. So Mike McGlinchey gets pushed back a little bit. Look at this. Both tackles actually do. Both tackles are in his lap, and it doesn't affect the throw. So I think that has to give Kyle Shanahan plenty of confidence. Ball's on the money, hits Kittle in stride, and they get a chunk play out of it. So the 49ers are on the 40-yard line. What does that mean? They are going to take another shot down the field. So here we go. It's going to be another levels concept, similar to what we saw last week. So the 49ers are going to fake a run to the right, and to the bottom of the screen, Kittle was attempting to cut Micah Parsons, and cut block him just means, kind of dive at his thigh pad just to get him off his feet. Micah Parsons, good athlete, great athlete. That does not work. Still, you get Purdy outside the pocket, and that's where he's comfortable. A big part of the 49ers' success has been moving the pocket. Anyway, last week, a similar situation. A lot of people wanted Purdy to throw this underneath route to Deebo Samuel. Instead, he looked down the field to Brandon Ayuk. A lot of people were complaining, thinking that, hey, it was a misread, it was a forced read, but Kyle Shanahan the very next day said the one play, the very first play that he mentioned that he wanted back was the post route to Ayuk. Head coach said the ball should go there. Not sure what else we need to argue about. Fast forward a week later, same situation. Purdy has a chance to throw it underneath to Deebo, but when you're rolling to the left here, that's going to be tough. He elects to go down the field, throws it to Ayuk. I remember watching a coaching clinic from Iowa State's passing game coordinator, Shieldhaus, I believe it was, Nate Shieldhaus. I'm probably butchering his last name, but he was a passing game coordinator when Purdy was there. He showed clips over and over and over of Purdy in this situation where he would continuously forego the underneath receiver to the deep receiver. That's just who Purdy is. He's a gunslinger. He wants to throw the ball down the field. How could you blame him, especially with these type of weapons? In this situation, I don't mind it, honestly. So could he throw the ball to Deebo here? Sure. But that's just not who he is. If anything, your gripe shouldn't be who he throws the ball to, because the odds of this being a pass interference are high. What you want here, and I know, again, look, he has Micah Parsons screaming down his throat. He has to get his feet set, stop. Obviously, his feet are not what you'd want it to be. You usually want both of them and your front hip pointing toward the target. Don't have that luxury when number 11 is running after you. Still, the ball ends up right around the face mask, where the helmet and face mask connect on the in the end zone. The ball should probably be closer to the pylon. If that ball is to the pylon, Ayuk gets to run underneath it, and the ball's out in front of me, has a chance to make a play. Doesn't get there. That's the only issue that I have in this, is just the accuracy of the ball. I will always take a quarterback who's willing to push the ball down the field. I thought the 49ers were impressive on third down in this game. So here's 3rd and 15. And I think it just kind of tells you the confidence that Kyle Shanahan has in Brock Purdy. If he wasn't confident, this would be a screen. This would be a run. This would just be a give-up play. That way Robbie Gould can come in and kick the field goal. So, one, the design. Let's talk about what's going on here. So we're looking at the top of the screen. And you have Brandon Ayuk, you have Ray McLeod, and Christian McCaffrey. So 3 eligibles to one side. And you have 1, 2, 3 over 4. Sorry, 4 over 3, which is how it works for most defenses. Let's see how Kyle Shanahan gets Ayuk in a one-on-one situation. So McLeod in the slot. He's going to run off the coverage. McCaffrey is going to hold the linebacker, hold the underneath defender. That way he can't run underneath Ayuk's route, which is a curl. It's a great route, by the way. So think about this. Yes, it's at the sticks. How many times have we seen a quarterback be able to complete this 15-yard throw? But watch Ayuk's route. So he's going to threaten like he's running vertical. As soon as he gets the DB to turn his hips, to flip his hips, he settles down. Oh, man, that is as good of a route as it gets. So watch it again here. Threatens with speed, deep, gets the DB to turn his hips. A lot of times the way to do that is just by attacking his blind side, by widening his release right like that. Gets him to open up. Efficient with his footwork. Catches the ball. And the 49ers are able to move the ball on the first down. So 3rd and 15. Great scheme, right? You get your best player one-on-one. Your best threat, perimeter threat one-on-one against their weak league. So the Cowboys' second quarterback gave up a ton of yards. He was targeted 12 times last week. I thought they would go after him more in this one. Wasn't necessarily the case, but still. When they needed to, Ayuk, Kittle came through. So that was a big play. All right, so the red zone offense, unlike the third down offense, has not been good in recent weeks, in the past month. And it's not all on Purdy. It's not all on one player. It's not on Shanahan. For example, this is the QB draw. And nobody was a fan of this play because it didn't work out. I feel like we would have a much different opinion if this play ended up being a touchdown. So let's talk about the design. McCaffrey out wide, McLeod in the slot, Kittle's the number 3 receiver, and Debo. So you have 4 wide receivers to one side. You're going to go 4 strong by motioning it out, Debo here, which they love to do as of late. Get this running back motioning out of the backfield. That's going to make these guys all go out wide. The second play of the game, I believe, they tried to run a screen similar to this, and Shanahan saw everybody just darting this way. So he comes back to a quarterback draw, and it just doesn't work. That's okay, right? That happens. Every scheme, every design you come up with isn't going to work. I thought, really, this play, it was just good defense. And right here, this pump, I don't think Purdy does a good enough job of selling the pump to get this defender right here. I think if he pumps, aggressively and really throws a shoulder fake, 27 probably goes a little wider. Either way, though, just got to give the hat tip to the defense. But I really don't mind the call. We didn't see it coming. I don't think anybody who's watched the 49ers saw it coming. It just didn't work out. So kudos to Dallas for not falling for it. All right, this one is on the rookie. I am putting this on the quarterback. So 49ers love running this now slant on when they get in the red zone. So now slant just means Debo to the bottom of the screen, their number 1 receiver, is not going to take any steps up the field. He's just going to beeline across. Watch how they get it set up. And Purdy even looks this way right now, but he's not looking at Debo. And if he gets him the ball right here, look, they have their backs turned. It's the exact look you wanted, right? You have man coverage to this side. The cushion right here. There's nobody. This low hole player is trending toward McCaffrey. So I feel like the ball should go here. Purdy doesn't see him until it's too late. I think he's affected by, I don't want to call this pressure, but just the bodies flying around in the pocket, which is understandable. But in my opinion, the ball has to go to Debo, and they probably, he walks in here. If not, look, he's looking right now, but I think he's just holding the defenders. We'll probably have a better angle from the end zone view, but it's not as if McCaffrey is covered here either. So if we just pause it, this is as armchair quarterback as it gets, right? We just pause it. One of these dudes, your best players, are both open. Instead, he has to evade pressure, leaves the pocket, does this little sandlot football action, spin zone, and eventually throws it away. But let's check it out from the end zone angle here. Can't keep settling for field goals. That has been a bad habit for this offense. The design is there. Yeah, he was checking out CMC, but he doesn't hang on him long enough. And you can see right here is when, and there are plenty of instances where Brock gets rid of it right away. So in my opinion, he has a great base right here. Look, his feet are set, his feet are in the ground. He's level. Oof. He just bails on it a little too quick, but that was a touchdown. And 49ers had to settle for 3 there when shouldn't have. As a quarterback, the best throws are the ones you don't make, right? The best decisions anyway. So this play kind of shows you Purdy's maturation. He hasn't played 10 games in the NFL yet. That is insane to think about. So keep that in mind as we're talking about him, as we're breaking him down. Still a 7th round pick. So he should be graded on a scale. Like, why wouldn't he be? The other quarterbacks in the current NFL. In the current NFL playoffs. Jalen Hurts, 2nd round pick, but Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, these are the cream of the crop quarterbacks. Anyway, watch this play. So again, they're going to run the infamous burner concept. It's a Yankee concept, but Kyle Shanahan calls it burner, where one player comes across the middle of the field while the other one runs off the coverage. You could see how this play could come back and bite Brock Purdy in the butt. It could easily be a turnover. So the linebacker, Leighton Vander Esch, he is very athletic. He's trying to run underneath this. Could Purdy make this play? Probably. But he doesn't feel comfortable, doesn't want to force it. I get why he didn't, and then ends up just using his legs. Keeps the 49ers in a positive script, right? You don't want to play from behind the chains. But I just like the idea that this wasn't a forced pass, that we didn't have to worry if it was completion or not. If it's not there, don't force it. You can see where his head goes right here. Doesn't like anything. Always on the move. Picks up a couple yards. I like that play. I mentioned how effective the 49ers were on 3rd down. On this play, they used Christian McCaffrey as a decoy, and they did this a couple of times. And I don't want to be like a conspiracy theorist because it's been reported, but I don't think McCaffrey was anywhere near 100% in this game. He had a calf contusion after the game, and Kyle Shanahan said he's day-to-day, but let's just walk through this play, for example. So he's on the bottom of the screen, and he's paired with Juwan Jennings. So they have 3 eligible receivers to the side with George Kittle. They're going to motion McCaffrey across the formation. Nobody runs with him, so it gives you a zone indicator. Fake the run option to Debo. So, first of all, 3rd and 2, McCaffrey's not in the backfield. That tells me, all right, how healthy is he? I know that Debo is still a very formidable running back, but McCaffrey is the workhorse in this offense. But it's 3rd down, and we know it's 3rd and Juwan. They're just going to run a quick out route. I think the timing, as always, is superb. And again, it doesn't seem like much, but this timing just gets the ball off quick. 1st down. And then there's another play that I want to show. I'm going to jump around here a bit, but as you can see, they get a penalty. Let's look at the next play, though. All right, this is an excellent design. So Jim Harbaugh used to run this play. He used to call it crunch. It's a wham play. You can call it whatever you want to, but essentially you are leaving one of these defensive linemen unblocked. If you've been watching, you can imagine it's probably the best player. If you can't block him, don't block him. Watch how the 49ers run this. Watch the gravity that Christian McCaffrey attracts. So let's just focus on McCaffrey. Another decoy here. So he hesitated. He's still running with him, even though he's inside of the box. So the 49ers are able to get one guy out of the box, and because he hesitated, he was blocked himself. So they get a big chunk here, 9, 10 yards, because they're able to get 2 of their best players in the backfield. And this is what happens when you have, a bunch of good players. I'm going to keep hammering that home because there's a reason the 49ers are this successful. But looking at the blocking play itself out here. So you got Banks coming across the formation. He's going to wham block Parsons. So boom, executed. Let's go back to watch 55 here. Vander Esch. Yeah, that hesitation is all it takes. So now the running lane is easy for Debo. And he's able to pick up, I believe it was a first down, 2nd and 2, so 8 yards. Still very positive play. Everybody watching this second half drive right before the end of the half was pulling their hair out because they're wondering, Kyle, what are you doing? Why are you running the ball? What is going on? Do you not believe in your quarterback? He said after the game, I didn't want to give them the ball back. And it worked out at the end. Were they fortunate? Yes. Why did it work out? Because their quarterback pushes the ball down the field. This is who he is. All right. This play does not work out, but I think the process kind of shows why the 49ers were able to make it work. So, again, that little motion in the backfield, that's become a staple as of late. So watch this layers concept. It's going to be 3 layers. You have, boom, right? Jimmy Garoppolo throws this. Somebody else probably throws this. Maybe it's Trey. I don't know who it is. Maybe it's Brock. But he's not. It's funny to me because I'm not used to seeing this. He does not care. He's not looking for this. He's looking for the 3rd level. The ball ends up getting tipped. And I mean, sure, they might be fortunate that it wasn't a turnover or deflection, whatever you want to call it. Either way, I think the process shows that, I mean, Purdy, he's looking for the home run, and that's who he is. And I think we have to accept that when you're playing this armchair quarterback and realize it's who he's been all of his career. He's looking 3rd level. He's looking down the field. Didn't work out on this play again, but you are going to see from this angle why Michael Parsons is who he is. So first of all, he's going against a sweat offensive lineman in George Kittle. Let's watch how that works. Nope. So barely gets a hand on him. And then, oh, man. And I want to be very clear here. Mike McGlinchey was awesome this game. He was quite good. This rep was not. He makes Parsons look like Reggie White on this play with a little hump move where he just throws him. Goodness gracious, that's a hell of a move. And he obviously, as you can see, the trajectory of the ball changes. Yeah, that starts to flutter. Still, the process is there, and Purdy looks to go down the field. Then on the very next play, you get your explosive. You get what you're looking for, you're hunting for, and the critics, like me, are silenced. 49ers are in scoring position. Juwan Jennings comes through when they need to because that's what he does. Protection is there. Purdy does a good job of, getting depth as he usually does. Hit the layups. He told, I believe he said that after the game, just got to hit your layups, and he did that in this game. So big field goal here at the end of the half to take the lead heading into halftime because Dallas got the ball at the half. So they could have, had a chance to take the lead. Either way, the execution was there at the end of the half. All right, Kyle Shanahan is going to put you in the right spots. As I said, 7 or 8 out of 10 times. But he has a quarterback who can improvise. And I'm going to show 2 plays in a row where improv Purdy saves the day. So watch how well the Cowboys defend this. And 49ers just going to run another high-low concept where Ayuk comes across the middle. He has 3 guys on him. Debo has Trayvon Diggs on him. So nobody's open right here. And Purdy has all the time in the world. You can see his head. And then he comes back to his 3rd read and finds Kittle, who just makes a heck of a catch. Tip, tip, tip. And then at the very end there, watch him here. Just avoid that big hit from Diggs. I don't know how he saw Diggs. I don't know if that was luck. It was a hell of a catch no matter how you slice it. But I think the most impressive part about that is avoiding the hit and being able to obviously make the catch all the way to the ground. But you can see, watch Purdy's helmet here. So he's looking at Ayuk. He's looking at Debo. And then as soon as he sees Kittle, so his 3rd read, ball's out. And wow, that is amazing. That's a really good play, though, from Purdy to go through his reads to improv. Just stay poised. And that has been a big deal for the 49ers offense and a big reason why they've scored as many points as they have. All right, so very next play, Purdy improv ×2. It's nice knowing that, as a play caller, you don't have a statue in the pocket. So it's not as if there is a lot of pressure on this play, but you can just tell Purdy feels something, and that's why he's moving. Again, his feet are not ideal on this rep specifically, but he knows where his check down option is. And I mentioned how McCaffrey's not 100%, and I felt like that was the case just due to his usage in the second half. But when they needed to play out of the backfield, or sorry, when they needed to play in the passing game, it was still Kittle, it was still Ayuk, and it was still McCaffrey. So 23 remained a big part, or at least a focal point of the offense. Here, let's watch Purdy just slide. Hits McCaffrey. Look at his arm angle there. That's not easy, right? That's not something you want to teach, but you see the pocket movement, the arm angle, and that's the improv that has really been benefiting this offense. So this could have been a disaster. 49ers are driving, knocking on the door of the red zone. You can see they're on the 20-yard line. Ball gets tipped slightly right there. Ayuk can't do anything about it. Lands in the breadbasket of a guy who has been a ball hawk since he's entered the NFL. And it goes right through the wickets. It's better to be lucky than good sometimes, maybe all the time. And the 49ers were more than lucky on this play. And it's not like, Purdy can do anything here. I could see somebody saying, well, if he was taller, this wouldn't be an issue, but it's right in the throwing lane. You can't throw it to the second window right here because you have a defender screaming down on him. You can't throw it behind him. I understand why Purdy throws it there. Look, as you can see, the ball, the trajectory changes. It's tipped. That happens in the NFL. And then, man, that I would not be able to live that down if I'm Trayvon Diggs all offseason. 49ers got away with one there. All right, next play, 49ers get a first down here. And last week, so watch Kittle here in the slot. Last week I believe he said the refs told him he had to do a better job of selling it, that holding. And if he did, the ref would have called it. So what does he do? The future WWE star, he sells it. He goes to the ground. The ref said, if you go to the ground, I will call that. Sure enough, he went to the ground, and the 49ers were rewarded with a defensive holding. Thankfully, they did get a holding call because the protection breaks down here in the back end. Let's see what happens. Yeah, they just blitzed more. It looks like they blitzed more than what the 49ers have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 6 on 6. McCaffrey has a really good pickup right here. So who gets through? Yeah, there's just nowhere to go. Looks like Burford got beat there. Yeah, they run a little twist. So the sack doesn't come to bite them, thankfully, because of Kittle drew holding. All right, so this is a timing offense, and when your quarterback gets the ball out on time, it is tough to stop the 49ers. So bottom of the screen here, Debo in a condensed split, George Kittle, and then Purdy, just his back foot hit. So you're going to run a quick. So it's a high-low concept. I believe Debo's going to run 5 and in, and then Kittle's going to run this glance route, which is essentially a post. He's going to run up about 10 to 12 and then keep it really skinny. So Purdy, as soon as the back foot hits, lets it fly. Back foot hits, ball's coming out. The timing is impeccable here. Again, is he going to look for the first level route? No. It's always second level with this guy, and I can appreciate that because that's how the big plays happen. Is Debo open right now? Yeah, of course he is. Do I want the first level for 5 yards? Nope. Give me the chunk play. Take it every time, especially Kittle one-on-one. So the running game started to get going in the second half, and now 49ers were living in 3rd and 4, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2. So this is a 3rd and 2, and they were 7 for 14 on third downs in this game. If the 49ers are converting 50% of their third downs against the Eagles, they're going to win the game. Bottom of the screen, this time you have Ayuk in the slot. So 3rd and 2, empty formation. Who is this play caller? Like, what is going on here? He trusts his rookie quarterback. All right. They're going to run a little looky. And I remember I asked Kyle Shanahan, what is your favorite play? And he said, looky Jaguar. I want to play itself out. 3rd and 2, divisional round. He said, looky Jaguar in training camp. He calls that in the 4th quarter. How does Dallas not know that this is coming? What is looky Jaguar? Stick looky Jaguar is what he said. So stick is an out route to the top of the screen. It would be like this. He's going to run here. He's run up. And then he would just have an option, probably either out, Debo to the top. You can't see him, but he's actually going to end up running a now slant. And then the lookie is just a backside slant to your number 2 receiver. Your number 2 receiver is generally your best receiver in this concept. Who is that? Brandon Ayuk. It's just crazy to me that in August, Shanahan said this, and he's running this in January, late January, mind you. So Ayuk has to be able to cross the face of this linebacker. Once he does that, the route's over. Does he? Yes. I mean, it's somebody in the 40s guarding Brandon Ayuk. What do you think is going to happen? Purdy has the wherewithal and the awareness to know, I'm going to trust my guy. So it doesn't end up being, it is stick to the bottom. No, it's not. He's running a return route. Focus on this guy before we get to McCaffrey. It's a split release, and I want to watch it play itself out here. Bang, bang. Look, he's already off balance right now. He ends up hitting the deck. Yikes. He's like 255, 260 pounds, making a defender fall off a release. If that doesn't impress you, I don't know what will. And I mean, it just kind of shows you the embarrassment of riches they have at the pass catcher position. So it ends up going to Christian McCaffrey because why wouldn't you rely on old reliable? But Kittle was wide open, and McCaffrey ends up getting the ball. But that release right there is the real reason I wanted to show this. So you convert another third down through the air, 3rd and short. Purdy, you're never going to blame him for throwing the ball to McCaffrey. That release though, ooh-wee. That was actually a fine catch, just a contested catch through traffic, and it's nice to know that McCaffrey, even when he's not 100%, can come through and move the chains. All right, look at that, 205. All right, 2 minutes and 5 seconds left. 1st and 10. Are you really going to throw the ball here? Old traditional thinking would be like, no, you want to run the ball. Force them to use their timeouts. Not Kyle Shanahan. Not with the team that he currently has. Not with the quarterback that he currently has, which again shows you the trust. It helps to have mismatches all over the place. He's going to have Kittle one-on-one with the safety. And this just tells me Shanahan is going for the kill. Like, he's not going to put it on his defense, even though they are the best defense. But the best chance to win is when you have the ball in your hands. And it's simple, right? It's just another backside slant where you have your best player one-on-one with a guy that you feel that can beat them. So you get 6 here. He widens his release. Easy pitch and catch there. But the fact that Kyle Shanahan is throwing the ball is the real takeaway here. All right, this all but ended the game. Should have ended the game if Elijah Mitchell stayed in bounds. But the execution, again, was there. So it's a toss to the right. The blocking, let's watch that. Have to take care of the defensive end, and Kittle does that. McGlinchey's going to pull around. Ayuk is going to crack back on the first defender that he sees, and he holds up very well. So you have this defender sealed. Not really worried about the corner because he's going to back out of McGlinchey. Corners aren't trying to take on these blocks, even though he doesn't do an okay job. But now the next level, you have to handle the linebacker, and you have an all-pro fullback who can do that. No complaints there, right? Brunskill actually does a really good job of reaching and getting to the linebacker to cut him off. Right now, go down, dive, do whatever it is. If you know for a fact you're not going to score here, go down. Let's take some knees and let's get out of here. I wonder how many people thought the Cowboys would have a chance because Mitchell didn't go down there. I mean, their odds were slim either way, but you can see from the sideline angle here, the players are celebrating like, yeah, we won. And the coaches are like, no, stay in bounds. Let's see if we can see it from this angle. Right here, these two this is the DB coach. I know that for a fact. Corey, I forgot what his last name is. And this other coach, they're all set. They're all pointing, watch. Stay in bounds, stay in bounds. Stay in bounds, stay in bounds. He doesn't. Where's Shanahan? Shanahan's, yeah, here he is right here. Watch his little head nod at the end. He realizes Mitchell went in bounds, and here he is right here. Watch. It's like, oh, you can't see it from this angle. I'm going to have to fix that. I want to show you guys this because it's pretty funny. Shanahan, just, you can see him. Dang. Right there. Watch very closely. He's looking at it like, damn. That was funny. 19 points doesn't seem like a lot, but based on everything that I just showed, does it feel like the 49ers offense played poorly? I don't think so. I think it's okay to give Dallas credit. This is the divisional round playoffs. They're not going to score 40 points on everybody, especially against a fine defense like Dallas, who they were very good against the run over the second half of the season. I don't think that's the case for the Eagles. We're hearing the way that people are talking about the Eagles. Maybe I have a bad read on them, but I don't think that. I do think they're a very good team. They're one of the 4 best teams in the NFL. I'm not arguing that. I don't think that they are that big of a mismatch as people are making it out to be against the 49ers. We'll see. The health of 23 matters. Elijah Mitchell did look fresh and fast, but he's not on the caliber of Christian McCaffrey. Thankfully, 49ers have mismatches all over the field. I want to know what the magic number is. If they can get to 24, will that be enough? Is it 27? We'll see. But I am not worried about Brock Purdy. I'm not worried about the offense carrying their essentially just making up for the defense if it has to get there. So I can't wait. I can't wait for this game. It's going to be one of the best games that we see all season, I imagine. And the 2 best teams in the NFC. So I look for the 49ers and Kyle Shanahan to have plenty of tricks up their sleeves against an aggressive Philly defense that I'm not so sure has the upper hand against 49ers.